Mike's house was kind of like, kind of like everybody's house. When we were in high school and through our 20s, Mike, his sister, his mom, his dad, his grandmother, Grandma Mickey, they were always at their house. You know, it was like a bunch of us would go over there and Betsy or Mickey would make us food. Like, you know, they were always there for you. It was almost like, you know, it felt like having like a second family to a lot of us.
He was in football and wrestling and excited to be, you know, in sports. And we started through high school, and there was probably in his junior year, you know, I knew pills were on board and involved, and me and him did the dance the whole time he was in school, because I would call him on his stuff and, you know, kind of be in his face just to complete his education and make sure that that was the best it could be.
Mike had an injury in high school while he was a wrestler, and he popped his knee out, and he got medication, pain medication, and from that point forward it was kind of an uphill battle for us to keep him alive, because he was just addicted to the medication, and when the medication ran out, he was going to be able to buy the prescription drugs on the street, but they're very expensive, and heroin is very cheap.
I did not know the progression. I did not know anything about heroin. You know, heroin was just a different look. You know, the person on heroin was just a completely different look than what it was then. I just had no idea. I had no idea. And just 3 months before he died, I then got the full story that second prescription kind of, you know, cycled him into more, you know, needing it off the street then as far as the pills went, and then, you know, snorting heroin, smoking heroin, to injecting heroin over probably about 18 months.
He got addicted to drugs and thought he could take care of it himself. And the drugs took over his brain and made him believe that the drugs were what he needed to feel good and to be better. And it robbed him of who he was and then killed him. You can't meet anyone who hasn't been touched by this. Everyone's being touched by this, and if you haven't yet and you feel safe, it's coming for you. This drug is coming for us. So we need to either acknowledge it or keep ignoring it until it wipes us out. It's gonna wipe us out.
This thing is not really discriminatory. It can happen to anybody.
It's just in high schools. Everyone feels like the kids are safe, they're in school. It's where they're getting it. It's like, it's infiltrating, it's quiet, it's a silent killer.
Being an educator today in a public school setting, you see a lot more than most people want to believe. And you also understand that there's not enough tools or resources or manpower to tackle this epidemic in our public school setting.
I had a little window of opportunity at one point, and that actually is the reason I do what I do, because I spent so much time going through, you know, Google, trying to get what I needed, and I didn't know what was available. And you know, he was, of course, didn't want this, didn't want that. He was being choosy and picky, and I don't want a 12-step program. I don't believe in God. All of those things that, you know, it's just interesting and you know, enlightening for me to hear now, because it wasn't a unique conversation.
Me and my mom, mostly my mom, she, from the moment that she was able to have a clear thought, it was that this was not going to be a silent death. This was not going to just end, and we were going to just be sad forever about this without doing something.
The thing I like to say about Betsy is she has a lot of hate in her heart and head, but it's a good kind of hate. She hates heroin. In fact, she has a shirt that reads, "I hate heroin." She hates what happened to her son. She hates what happened to herself. She hates what happened to her family.
Michael's voice to me is that model of Let's get out there, meet people where they are, and demonstrate it. No, talk is cheap. Let's go out there and actually show people through our actions how what it means to help people in our community and bring people together.
We shouldn't have people feeling embarrassed to ask for help because they know they're gonna die. My brother knew he was gonna die. I had conversations with this kid, and he said to me, "I'll never see 40. He died at 30.
So I will do whatever I can to get inside folks' heads and get that aha moment that I had when I was listening to Dr. Wyatt.
My mom's pretty amazing for a woman who lost her only son and youngest child, and my father is amazing and gets up every day and supports us as a family, and whatever we can do to make sure that father, mother, uncles, cousins, they don't have to deal like we miss Mike and can't believe that he's dead. So Michael's voice is now ours, and it's going to be forever. We're not stopping. So Heron kind of should watch out because we're coming.